remember that at all? Okay, what you're required to disclose under the seller disclosure. If a question is asked, a truthful answer must be provided. What if a question is not asked? Do we have to disclose that there's a paint chip on the wall? Why not?
That's part of their due diligence.
Okay, so you guys are intuitively feeling you're answering, because here's the legal rule: hidden latent defects. Because it is, so the buyer has a duty to do an inspection. But if it's something that I can't inspect, then it should be disclosed by the seller. So for instance, mold behind the wall. And this is very common lawsuit. So the seller knows there's mold behind the wall and doesn't disclose it. Well, the buyer's not gonna find that out. How many inspectors have you seen that have come in with a axe and cut through the wall? Right?
If they told me, and I'm the listing agent, I'm gonna say, you need to put that on there. You need to put it on there.
Right, and he would. So that is absolutely required. So
If they tell you.
The fact, if they tell you, the seller's probably trying to dupe you too, unfortunately. So here's what you could do to protect yourself from being sucked into a lawsuit. Because the buyer's gonna think that first of all, the plaintiff goes after the money, no matter who's wrong. Second of all, they assume everyone's wrong or has their hands in the cookie jar somehow. If you see any evidence that like a portion of the wall has been painted over, or some work was done on that wall, then you should specifically ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even if it's like a major red flag, get it in writing. Get it in writing from an email that you could literally produce later. Like, look, I asked, is there anything up with this? And they're like, nope. And then you would immediately get dismissed in that case. Okay, we already talked about this. We talked about agents, sub-agents. This is... Did you guys get your were you able to download? No? Still no?
I will.
All right, awesome. Let's see.
What, are you on this Wi-Fi? She has her own.
She has a hotspot or something?
It has the.
Oh, okay, sweet. It's not the PDF page, but it's 16. It's on the bottom right, Vanessa, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Okay.
it's a short one, a buyer avoiding commitment.
Okay, a buyer avoiding commitment. Bethany is an experienced buyer's agent. Kiko is interested in purchasing a property. Bethany and Kiko have been communicating on and off over the last 4 months. And while she likes working with Bethany, Kiko doesn't want to commit to an agency relationship, not even orally. This week, Bethany showed Kiko a new property and Kiko has decided it is the one. Kiko is ready to make an offer and wants to move quickly. Once Kiko decides she's ready to make an offer, what should Bethany explain to Kiko about agency relationships?
Okay, well, we know the roles kind of changed on this, right? So what are we gonna do? Someone walk me through it. These are good things to talk about. How do you like to do it? Because we talked about being free. It's uncomfortable, you know. I spend about 15 minutes on client intake, and then I like say, okay, this is the price. We're gonna get the contract, this and that. It's uncomfortable, but it is what it is. You guys are paid too. You can't dilly-dally all day. So what do? Do you meet them in person, over coffee, pull out the contract? Do you email it to them? Do you get on the phone and walk them through the contract? Do you not walk them through the contract? There's no right or wrong answer. This is not a trick question, but have you guys thought about this?
At your first showing.
Okay. So meet them at the first showing, maybe, and then say, hey, maybe prep them that there's gonna be a contract. Hey, the first one, can you get here 15 minutes early so we can just kind of go through the buyer's rep agreement? I need to get one signed. Okay, cool. Is anyone gonna do this on DocuSign?
That's what I was gonna say. The way I would do it is before I meet them, ask them for their email and contact and have that there. And then when you meet them in person, tell them, I sent you this and this is what we need so that I can show you more houses. And
What's my understanding, you're not supposed to show any houses until you have it signed.
yeah,
Exactly.
That's the
True.
new
That is
process.
consistent with what she said.
That was,
Yeah.
so they would have to sign the buyer's rep before you even show them open the house and show it to them.
Well, she's not showing it to him yet. She's
Okay.
meeting him in the parking lot of the house.
15 minutes
Oh.
before.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Yeah.
you want to look at a car? Okay, come out to the dealership. But before you look, you got to sign this. What about that? Is anyone doing that with your contract? You are. When you guys do DocuSign a contract, you're reviewing it in detail, right? Or do you just click the little tab that says sign, start signing, and then it pops you 20 pages down,
And then you say,
and then it fills out. You just sign it, huh?
what I normally do is I'll go over like an overview of like
Okay.
each section. And I let them know if they have any questions to let me know, just so we don't have to read this verbatim. But if they have questions about it, they can stop and ask. So I go over everything and then I say, you're just gonna go through and sign everything. Cause we've already gone over it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's the,
I like it. I mean, it's the new way of contracts. I'm not saying DocuSign's wrong. I'm a little more old school. I don't like DocuSign for the reason that I think no one reads the contract, one. And two, I don't know if it's their signature. So they say that could be verified. So here's a story. So I'm opening up an IRA account and I had to get, my wife at the time, I had to get her to sign this like spousal consent. I swear to God, no lie, the IRA company's like, well, you know, no one really looked, you can just type her name in. No one really looks at that. I mean, so what happens? I don't think we've seen many cases with this yet. I just feel more and more there's gonna be fraud. Not, I guess you could forge a signature, right?
I had a situation where
Uh-huh.
this is why I like e-sign, like, or DocuSign. I
Okay.
use e-sign because it's free on zip forms for
Okay.
agents.
Well, that's what I meant, yeah.
So I had a situation where, well, I was representing the buyer and the seller, right? And it was off market, and I told them this is what your house will sell for. They need closing costs, so this is what they're gonna offer you, the closing costs, whatever. It was the guy. The lady was in the kitchen washing the dishes or fixing a bottle for her baby, whatever. We get to the closing table and she's looking at me like she wants to kill me. And I'm just like, okay. She goes, you added that on there. You added those closing costs on there after. I was like, lady, first of all, you were washing the dishes. Second of all, like, I don't know. I told her that I was gonna sue her for saying that because I was able to trace back through the e-signature where it was her email, the time that she signed it, everything. So I was like, if she would have actually signed that, then she could have said that I forged her signature. There was no way for her to say that because it was all like the little, what's it called again? Like the whole summary of who signed.
Like a time stamp.
It's like a
thing.
certification. They give you a whole certificate after, and then she just stayed quiet.
So that's an excellent point. So I think like,
Yeah.
any technology,
And her email.
there's good. Now I'll play the opposite side of that. I do a lot of corporate law, and we like to play magic tricks where we have effective dates that